Hey YouTube, it's Ashley. Sorry if the lighting's horrible. I'm in the middle, or sitting in the floor in the baby's room. Um, the dog is trying to get in here. I just wanted to go ahead and do my 33-week pregnancy update. I can't believe 33 weeks is here already. Let's see. I don't have a list this week, so I'm probably going to be off a little bit on what I remember, and I'll probably forget a whole bunch of stuff. But on Monday, I started my non-stress test, and I go to do that every week now. So that was fine. I just went in, and of course, I stop at McDonald's and get a couple little things to eat because I forgot to eat on the way. And so I eat as I'm leaving town and everything, and of course he's kicking the whole time and moving all around. I get to the office and he is just going crazy, just, kicking up a storm. And I'm like, oh great, once I get in there and they get me hooked up, he's just not gonna move. So I, got in there and they got me hooked up, and I had two bands on my stomach. One on the top to listen or to feel for contractions, and the one on the bottom to listen to the baby's heartbeat. And then I had a button, and every time I felt him move, I had to push it. So at first, he hates stuff on my stomach. So he was like kicking up a storm like crazy when they first put it on me. So I was like pushing that button like crazy. And they want to see a spike and acceleration in the heart rate, and then it go back down afterwards. So, I thought I was doing really good because I had a whole bunch of movement and everything was going good. And then one of the nurses came in and she checked it, and she's like, oh, we need to get this kid moving. So apparently he wasn't moving as much, and he had went to sleep. I could tell him that. So they ended up giving me a Sunkist. It was disgusting. When you don't drink that stuff for such a long time, it is gross. It just tastes like pure syrup. So it was kind of nasty, but I got it down, and they just gave me for the caffeine. So then they said, well, we'll let you sit here a while longer, and I ended up being hooked up for an hour, and then they finally took me off. And then the doctor came in, and I was like, is it okay? And she's like, yeah, we wouldn't have taken you off the monitor if everything wasn't okay. So that was good to know. Let's see. I asked her about the whole cardiologist thing, and she said if my EKG was fine and they didn't hear a heart murmur and stuff like that, then I should be okay. She said, I definitely still want you on the blood pressure medicine. I did find out that whenever you do a 24-hour urine collection, like I did, I think it was 5 weeks ago now, that your total needs to be under 300. Like 300, you're considered preeclamptic, and mine was 190. So I was still well under, but it still makes me nervous that, that was 5 weeks ago, and, when I do it again in the next couple weeks, then it might be high enough to where, or whatever. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see, how that pans out. And I asked her if they still thought they were going to deliver him at 37 weeks, and she said it was literally a week-to-week thing, and, I probably won't know until the week of that they're taking him, if they're taking him, when they're taking him. So, but she's like, hopefully we get to 37 weeks or whatever. Let's see what else. I had a couple little things that happened or whatever, and I'm talking to her about that. And I don't want to go into gory detail on here about it. I mean, it wasn't bad, but I thought, man, is this the start of labor? Or not labor, but the start of, me starting to dilate and stuff. And my doctor said it sounds like I probably started to dilate a little bit. So, but she said that shouldn't be, any big deal. She said at 33 weeks, that that's can happen. So she said it shouldn't be a big deal. What time am I at? Okay. I can't see anything without my glasses. But let's see. Oh, so I did tell her that they wanted me to get blood work done to get my thyroid checked, because apparently pregnancy can whack it all out. And she's like, oh, that's probably a good idea. We should probably go ahead and have you still get that done. And I said, well, can I go ahead and get it done here so that I don't have to go back to the heart doctor? And she's like, yeah, that's fine. So I go over to the phlebotomist or whatever. They're in the oh crap! I swear pregnancy brain stinks. They're in the office, and she always does a butterfly needle in my hand, and she didn't have any butterfly needles that day, so she had to use a regular needle. Well, she did it, no big deal, and she didn't have gauze right then, and she's like, oh no, so she just used a little piece of tape and put it, held it when she pulled the needle out, and that was fine, I thought. So I left, went to Target for probably a half hour, and I kept thinking, man, my hand hurts. Well, I ended up going ahead and, after I left, and I took off the bandage, and oh my gosh, my hand was swollen, and I was like shocked. So it was like, it's this left hand, I can't. And this side was fine, but this side was like probably an inch to inch and a half in roundness from here back to my wrist. I mean, it hurt so bad. And I was like, oh great, what is this? So I went ahead and went back to the office to have them check it out. And they looked at it, and I'm not even thinking about the marks that the tape left on me. And my nurse, she looked at it and she goes, has anybody ever told you that you're allergic to adhesive tape? I was like, no. So apparently I'm allergic to adhesive. Very interesting. So they can't use that kind of tape on me at the hospital when I go to have him, and I have to make sure that they know that, because she said if they leave it on too long, it's going to take my skin off, which is just wonderful. So that was new. And she said that most likely, I told her, I said, well, whenever she pulled that needle out, she actually used a little piece of tape when she took it out. And so we think that what happened is a little bit of the adhesive touched the inside of my hand when she pulled that out, and that probably caused the bruising and the swelling. And she said it should go down in 24 hours, and it did. So thank goodness it looks a whole lot better than it did. But it freaked me out. Let's see what else is going on. I live with Tums. Tums are my best friend, and I take 1 or 2 or 3 a night. It just all depends. He has been moving like crazy, and he sits right under, he sits right on my sternum most of the time, and man, it's hard to breathe. What else? I've got his hospital bag packed. I've got mine partially packed, most of the way packed. I have a list that will be going up on the refrigerator. I still need to do a video for you guys of that. And my doctor and nurse both said it was definitely a good idea for me to go ahead and get all that stuff taken care of, just in case, one of my non-stress tests shows that he's in distress or something. So, well, I think that is it. I'm sure I've forgotten stuff. But I hope everybody's pregnancies are doing well, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.